So today I'm going to be talking about Mickey 7 by Ashton Edward. Now I picked this novel up because last week I realised it was just 1 week until Bong Joon-ho did his adaptation of Mickey 7, which is entitled Mickey 17. And now I am a big fan of Bong Joon-ho's work. Memories of Murder 2003, boom, 5 stars masterpiece. The Host in 2006, a kind of sci-fi monster movie with comical undertones. I really enjoyed this one, it was about a 3.5 for me. And then we have Mother in 2009, not going to say much about it, just go watch it, 5 stars. Then we have Snowpiercer in 2013, which was Bong Joon-ho's first kind of little foray into English-speaking language movies. I really liked this one, I thought it was excellent, I give it 4 stars. Next up we have Okja, which is Bong Joon-ho's first movie with Netflix, which I was a little unsure about from the trailer, but after watching it, I thought it was excellent, 4 stars. And finally we have Parasite, which was released in 2019. This film is also a masterpiece, 5 stars. It also won the Best Oscar Film, and deservedly so. So yeah, he's got a really good back catalogue of movies. And I'm really excited to getting around to watching Mickey 17, and based on this book, I think it is going to be a lot of fun. So the book is a sci-fi fun time. It's not really that deep, and if I was to pull out some themes, there's not many, but first off I would go with identity and sort of selfhood, the exploration of identity and what really makes up an individual. And after that, I'd say the novel's kind of looking at colonialism, but also sort of like ethical dilemmas throughout. But colonialism definitely is a big one. But I think that's it for themes. So what's it about? So we start the novel by meeting Mickey Barnes, or Mickey 7, and he is an expendable. He is on a mission with about 200 other people to colonise this kind of icy planet. His role involves undertaking rather perilous tasks, on the understanding that he probably will die, and when he does, he will just be regenerated with most of his memories intact. At the start of the novel, he falls down this hole and is sort of left by his buddy for dead, assumes that there is no way of him getting out of this hole or that he can survive his injuries, and therefore a new Mickey is created, Mickey 8. However, Mickey 7 does not die and manages to make his way back to the colony. And for reasons that I won't go into, but you do get an explanation as to why, multiples are just not allowed. It is absolutely seen as the worst thing possible, and Mickey 7 and Mickey 8 have to come to the decision. Does one of them kill themselves, or do they both exist together, but have to hide the fact that 2 of them exist? And that's about it, really. We have an okay amount of side characters. We have Nasha, his girlfriend, who will stick by him no matter what, and his best friend Berto, who is a little bit of an arsehole, and not really the best of friends. And then we have the Marshal, who's sort of in charge of everything, and he just has it out for Mickey 7. He doesn't like multiples, he doesn't like expendables, they go against his religion. They have a very sort of tense relationship throughout the entirety of the novel. And I suppose one of the side narratives sort of threading throughout Mickey 7 and Mickey 8 trying to hide their identity and just get through each day is this sort of battle and sort of looming war with these kind of creatures that live on this icy planet. And I won't go into too much more detail about that, but it's those two kind of plot threads are sort of like weaving themselves together throughout. So what did I like and what didn't I like? What I liked. I really enjoyed the pace of this one. It's what I would call a kind of thrillery sci-fi sort of beach read. It's not too deep and it moves at rapid pace. And I found the narrative and Mickey as a character incredibly engaging. The next thing I really enjoyed is the humour threaded throughout this novel. I was laughing a lot at what was taking place, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. And I just really enjoyed it for that. But that's it for what I liked. What didn't I like? The supporting characters were really weak for me. Berto gets a good amount of time and Nasha gets a good amount of time, but I don't know, I just felt like both of them, all the supporting characters, could have been given more. I also thought there could have been a bigger cast of characters. It's pretty much just Mickey 7, Mickey 8, Nasha, Berto, and the Marshal. That's it. And I don't know, as we're on this colony, I felt like it could have been just explored so much more. The characters aren't bad at all. They're good, they're passable. I connected with them, but they just felt like Nasha just could have been given so much more. Berto's probably the strongest out of all of the side characters. But either way, I just felt like they were way underdeveloped for my personal taste. I also felt like the kind of romantic elements between Mickey 7 and Nasha weren't really explored that well. I didn't really see what she saw in him. I didn't really see why they were so in love and why they were so connected. And she ends up doing things for him that are quite above and beyond. But because we're not given much time, I don't know, it just didn't have any time to develop. I just didn't believe in their relationship whatsoever. The next thing I didn't like is the world building is a little bit naff. We get a few good moments of history, of kind of like how these sort of Expendables came to be into existence, and the sort of, we get a little bit of information on how different planets have been colonized before, and the process that they're going through. We get an okay amount of information about why Mickey has ended up signing up as an Expendable, because it's not a good job. It's the bottom of the ladder as far as the jobs go on this colony. But yeah, there's a whole planet and sort of, the colony, like, there's so much that could have been explored with not just a planet or the colony, but also the history of, like, the Starfleet and where they go. The world building was really, really limited. And I understand that the novel was trying to be like a really fast-paced, thrillery, kind of humorous, really fun ride that doesn't take itself too seriously. But, I don't know. I just needed way, way more. The next thing that I didn't like is the kind of conflict between the colony and the sort of inhabitants of this icy planet. There was no tension there. Like, things happened, but there was no build-up into me being like, oh my god, what's going to happen? Things just sort of rolled out, and there was, no real tension. The conflict could have been so much more. The only real conflict we get is between the Marshal and Mickey 7, and that's as tense as the novel gets. But for something that's a bit of a kind of sci-fi alien planet, conflict and tension was really muted. And the final thing I didn't quite like, but I have found out since that there is a sequel to this, but I'll say it anyway. The ending felt a little bit abrupt. It felt a little bit like, oh, okay, I was just getting cooking, and now it's done. Just everything could have been expanded more in every single way. The depth of the side characters, the plot, the conflict, the world building, just everything just could have been pushed so much further. And it is a real shame, because I think the tone of the writing, the humour within it, and the pacing of it, and the way that it was written was kind of perfect for me with this type of read. I just flew through it, and I got on a real groove with the writing, and it balanced this kind of sci-fi element with the humour extremely well. So it's just a shame that everything else just sort of wasn't anywhere where it needed to be. Overall, I would say that Mickey 7 is an enjoyable time. Should you rush out and read it before seeing the movie? No, I don't think so, unless you're really into things like that, like I am, the sort of comparison in the adaptation. But other than that, no, I don't think this is a rush out and read. I'm going to give it like 2.5 stars. It's better than alright, but it's not quite hitting the 3-star good for me. I'm glad I read it. I had a really enjoyable time. But overall, I think there is so much better sci-fi in this kind of style with the humour out there. But yeah. So have you read Mickey 7, and if so, what did you think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please let me know in the comments below. And as always, I hope you're well, and I'll see you all on the next one.